Hello from Gardening at Douentza here in Ireland. And somebody asked me what it's like when I have a group visiting my garden for open day. So let's have a look around. I'm expecting the group any minute now. It's the end of June today and the garden is looking well, but the colour is yet to come. And of course it's raining. It tends to rain when we have groups. I have no idea why. So I guess we're just really having a quick look around. And panning from over this side. And you can see I have my garden arranged in a garden room kind of arrangement. And over here is one of the rooms, flanked by this very, very tall tree that was planted for my son. And down there, there's another room, so we'll walk down to that now. And here we are in the lower room of the garden. Just panning around. You can see by the sky it's a very misty, wet day today. And for those of you who observe my pruning of Paulownia, that's what the Paulownia looks like near the end of June after being pollarded earlier on. And we could sit at that seat, except it's wet. And here we continue our little walk through the garden. This time behind those arches. And if we look back up there, you can see the arch. I hope you can see it. Let's just zoom in on that. So we were standing over there on the concrete a little while ago. And it focuses, thank goodness. Sambuca's thundercloud looking particularly lovely this year. And from down here you can see the house up there. And we have little pathways here between planting. I hope lots of nice plants, interesting and unusual plants that people will enjoy seeing. And here we are, just by those arches, and you can see that this walkway extends quite far down that way. Let's go down and walk through those mock oranges. They're really smelling beautiful at the moment. And here we are at the mock oranges. I think I might get wet going between them. And here we have a fluffiness of pink. The poppies are looking really amazing this year, and these are ones I've been weeding out, but these ones have managed to stay, and I'm very glad they did. I just love that colour. Looks fantastic beside the geranium summer skies, I believe, one of the few hardy double geraniums. Okay, so we shall walk over here, and our next walk will be up this part of the garden. To the table down at the end. Lobelia tupa is just coming, as we can see. Just love that. And we have some very interesting black irises, or almost black irises. These are called Superstition. And isn't that just amazing? Love them. Okay, so past the liquid amber, past this border that I featured in a mini little video not very long ago. There it is, looking behind me. So from here, I guess it's a quick walk over to the stone table, but we've actually forgotten an adjacent path. Loving the verbascums, aren't they amazing? We've forgotten the adjacent path, which is This one here, now I'm just wibbling around here with the camera, that's where we like to sit and eat, flanked by the Sarracenia beds over here, and the greenhouse in the background, as you know from many of my videos. But there's another path here, and those of you who watched the video where we brought the orchids to the greenhouse for summer, the cattleyas to the greenhouse for summer, will notice we walked through this path here, which has a lot of interesting spring planting. And now we're going to have a go over to the greenhouse. And I have a border here in front of the greenhouse. Looking good at the moment. Lots of nice things coming. Have a shady border over there. And I have this arrangement going on down here. With the wedding cake tree and copper beech behind. But let's go into the greenhouse. And here it is. And I'm not going to do a greenhouse tour now, but I do have some nice things in flower. That fuchsia I bought in bloom the festival, the plant festival, and my cattleyas down the end. And can you see that Cattleya purpurata is looking really magnificent? I hope people notice it. We still have some buds opening there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flowers open so far, which is a good result. And over here what we really have is the working end of the garden, and this is where it peters out. And we have here my pot tidy, plants in waiting, and up above a section of the garden which isn't gardened, which is used for vegetables, and that's why it's cordoned off with that fence. And I really have to thank Dimitri, whom you'll have seen in some of my videos, for helping me to tidy out this area when he was over last. It's wonderful to have it done. But we're not finished our garden tour just yet, because we haven't been over to the other side of the garden, the other half of the garden. And to do that we need to cross over here and cross over at the back of the house, which is there. And over here we have dry stone walls built from stone taken out from this site, which is very, very stony. And this is the kind of zen area I built earlier this year and made a video about raking the gravel in. And that bank there is covered in Persicaria affinis, which is just about to come into flower, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. So panning over here, you can see that the bank extends, covered in Persicaria, and this is the way into the, well, to the what I call the west side of the garden, but what I'm now calling Joshy's garden, because it's the part of the garden, I guess, that reminded me most of him. Joshy's birthday. My son's birthday was on the 30th of June, and he always used to have parties in the garden when he was little, and we'd bring tables out and all his friends would come, and very happy memories. And this rose here in front of us, Rosa Celeste, I suppose kind of dominates this part of the garden at the moment. It's a fantastic old rose, an alba, and the scent is just amazing. Some alliums there, and let's walk over to this part. And here we have mock oranges in flower, Santa Decia, and my little pond. Just a little pond. Taking a look back at that rose and the pond, which is just in there. Some planting. And down in front of us we have a Sarracenia planter as well. Some Dactylorhiza orchids looking good with the hostas. some sanguisorba that has decided to lie down on the grass. And I don't have enough hoops. Nobody ever has enough of those peony hoops to prop things up. And I guess that brings us to pretty much the end of the tour of my garden Douentza, which is open to groups by appointment in summer. So do contact me if you're a group and you'd like to come visit. And I do a guided tour of the garden talking about the plants and stuff like that for people in English or in French if they want it. So I readily welcome French groups. Okay, that's it. And here, just to do a full circle, that you realise where I've come from, there are the arches over there where we started the garden tour. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.